everyone, this is Sarah, and today's video is the Easy Holiday Ornament crochet pattern. Now this is our final video in our Christmas in July 2018 celebration. And this is a super duper easy crochet pattern. Now this ornament can be hung on a tree. It can be put on a package and used as a gift tag. You can put a bunch of them together and make a bunting, and it can also be used as a coaster if you make it out of cotton. So it has lots of different uses, and you can see that I've made them in lots of different styles. 3-color, 2-color, variegated, cotton, and this one's my favorite, and we're going to be doing one similar to this today. Now this is a free crochet pattern on my blog, and you can find that blog link down in the notes underneath the video. So you can see that you can change colors every row, or you can do a center and do them all the same, or you can do your trim different. There's lots of different ways that you can make these super easy holiday ornaments. This one is made out of cotton, so it makes a great coaster, and it'd be great from using as a place setting. For today's demonstration, we're going to make one that actually looks more like this one. I've got some silver and some blue here, and you can see it doesn't take very much. I'm going to use the silver for the center and the outside, and then I'm going to use this pretty blue for this portion. And you can see it doesn't take very much. Now the yarn that we're using, this is Karen Party. It's a worsted weight 4, and this is just a Red Heart Super Saver worsted weight 4 that I have on hand. So you can do these with all your leftover scraps of worsted weight number 4 or cotton that you have on hand. We're going to be stitching today with our H hook, and this is a 5mm crochet hook. You'll need a needle for weaving in your ends, and of course you'll need your scissors. We're going to be starting with the center of our ornament and work our way out. We'll be starting with a slip knot, and then we're going to chain 4 chains. The first 3 chains will count as 1 double crochet. 1, 2, 3. So we're going to place a double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook. Our chain 3 counted as 1, and we stitched 1, so we're going to stitch 8 more double crochets in this same chain. Yarn over, go in the chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2, yarn over, and go through the second 2. So there's 3. All right, this should be 10, but let me count to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have 10 double crochets. I'm going to join to the top of the chain 3 with a slip stitch. And now I'm going to join my next color of yarn. But before we do that, I'm going to make a little chain 1 to hold that, because I want to talk to you a little bit about this hole in the center. Just turn it over, grab your needle, thread the tail of that yarn on there, and then we'll go right around those stitches on the back side and just gently pull on that, and that will close that hole that's in the center. Close up those stitches. And now I'm just going to weave that in, going one way, then the other. There we go. And then I can go ahead and cut that off, and that's all taken care of. And that's the way our first row should look. Now we're going to be changing colors on this next row, so we don't want to have that chain 1 in there yet. When you're changing colors, you want to do the chain 3 or the chain 1 after the color change. So let's join in our blue. And I'm going to leave my silver yarn attached because I'm going to be coming back and using that. All right, so now we're going to do our chain 3. We're going to stitch a double crochet right in that same stitch as our chain 3. And then we're going to place 2 double crochets in each of those double crochets around. And that's going to give us 20 double crochets. We started with 10 and we're stitching 2 in each of the stitches around, and that will give us 20. So I'm stitching 2 double crochets in each one of the 10 double crochets around. I've stitched those 20 double crochets. I'm going to join to the top of the chain 3 with a slip stitch. And I'm going to go ahead and chain 3 because I'm not changing colors. If you were changing colors, you need to do your color chain first and then do your chain 3 because that chain 3 counts as the first double crochet of our next row. And on this row, row 3, we're really just repeating what we did on row 2. We're going to put 1 double crochet in the same stitch as our chain 3. And then we're going to put 2 double crochets in each of those 20 double crochets. And so we're going from 20 double crochets to 40. And this way the ornament lays nice and flat and it won't pucker up on us at all. So I'm going to place 2 double crochets in each of the 20 double crochets for a total of 40 double crochets. And when I get back around, I'll join to the top of my chain 3. For row 3, you should have 40 double crochets. We're going to join to the top of that chain 3 with a slip stitch. And then we're going to cut our yarn. Now, if you're keeping yours the same color, don't cut your yarn. But if you are, you'll need to cut your yarn. And I'm bringing back up my silver yarn from behind. And if you're changing to a different color, just bring your yarn back in the same way. And what we're going to do on row 4 is we're just going to place a single crochet in each one of the stitches around. So I'll go right in this first double crochet and stitch a single. And a single is you go through the stitch and pull up a loop, yarn over, and just pull through both of those loops. That's a single. And we're only placing 1 single crochet in each one of the double crochets around. And that gives us just a nice edge around our ornament. And so we'll continue to stitch those single crochets till we get back around here. We'll join to our first single crochet, and then I'll show you how to make the topper for our ornament. I stitched that row of single crochet around my ornament, and you should have 40 single crochets because we didn't add any additional stitches. We're going to join to the first single crochet with a slip stitch. And now we're going to make the topper for our ornament. So we'll go right in the next single crochet and stitch a single crochet, and then we'll stitch 3 more. So we have 4 single crochets. We're going to chain 1 and turn. And we're going to place 1 single crochet in those 4 single crochets. We're going to chain 1 and turn. And you can see it already forming there. All right, so now in the first 2 single crochets, we're going to slip stitch. So we'll go in that first stitch, pull up a loop, pull that loop through the loop on our hook. And then we'll repeat that. Pull up a loop, pull that loop through the loop on our hook. We're going to chain 7. This chain 7 will be the hanger or the loop for our ornament. All right, so we're going to go to this next single crochet and stitch a slip stitch. And then we'll slip stitch in the last single crochet. All right, so there's the top of our ornament. We're going to cut our yarn. Tie that off, and then we need to weave that in with our needle. So we'll thread that on to our needle, turn it over, and just weave that in. Now I've already taken a few minutes to weave in my other ends right here. When I bring up a color from one to the other, I try to weave over that with my other ones that are going across, because we want to try to keep that as neat as possible. And the most important thing when weaving in is to go in through stitches and fibers of the yarn and not through the holes. Now sometimes you may have to go through a hole, but it's best to try not to. And also try to stay in that color, because if I were to weave this in and some of that silver to show through on this side, it wouldn't look real neat. And of course our goal is, especially when we're giving it away as a gift, is to try to keep it neat. And so there is our easy holiday Christmas ornament, all ready to be put on a package or a tree or just use as a coaster.